Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we're going to be discussing the 1984 film, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. Since it has been retired for television, it was Friday the 13th Part 4, The Final Chapter. It came out in 1984. And yes, in the Friday the 13th series, it's just about every year they had a Friday the 13th movie during the 80s, except for 1983. So they skipped 1983 for a Friday the 13th film, and it came out with one in 1984. Because this movie, the only big name star that was in this movie that's of note is Corey Feldman, who was little known. The only other movie that he was known for at that particular point in time was the small role he had in Gremlins, which came out the same year as this movie. So Friday the 13th Part 4, once again, there's a bunch of people living out in the woods for a weekend, had like a lake house. For the weekend, and with Jason running around, and there's actually two people who were supposed to have previous encounters with Jason. One girl who's had seen like 2 years comes in the picture and gets attacked by Jason, and survives again. And there was another guy who was hunting down Jason because he believes he was still alive, which you do see in the beginning of this film, because at the end of Part 3, you saw that Jason was killed. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention in Part 3 was that when the girl was in the canoe, Jason was chasing her, and has a similar ending to, it can't mess with the movie, a similar ending to Part 1, when the girl was dragged down by Mrs. Voorhees at the end of the film. But you never actually saw Jason because the girl went nuts at the end of in the end of this movie. So you didn't. I know I'm messing up with the films right now. But for Part 4, she had a different encounter before. And of course, at the end of Part 3, the coroner took Jason's body in, and because Jason got up, that's when, of course, Halloween started the trend where a serial killer that cannot die. And of course, they're always trying to figure out ways of bringing back Jason, like they did in the 30s and 1940s with the Universal horror films. They're always bringing back Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and Dracula. They're always bringing them back somehow. That's what they're doing with Jason. More than Michael Myers, because they only had 2 movies with Michael Myers at that point, and he wouldn't come back again to 1988 when they had the 4th Halloween film. I know I'm comparing both movie series, but that's what happened. So they brought back Jason back to life, and there's a guy who believed that Jason's still alive because he got out of the coroner's office, and they lost his body, body got out, and so this guy was literally hunting down Jason. Of course, but Jason got him, of course, at the end of this movie. And of course, you can see that the movie stars Corey Feldman as a little kid who was into horror. I think the makeup artist Tom Savini, Corey Feldman's character was based on Tom Savini, the famous makeup artist from George Romero zombie films and the Friday the 13th movies. So that character was based on Tom Savini. And not only that, but the guy who played Jason in this movie hated Corey Feldman because it was like a spoiled little brat on the set and couldn't wait to get his hands on him and kill him. And so that's why he had no extra motivation to go after him, because he was such a spoiled little brat. Anyway, by the end of this film, not only do you have the typical mayhem with Jason going out killing everybody, you have Corey Feldman's sister in the film. She does some pretty good stunt work, jumping out a second-story window and crashing to the ground and stuff. That was pretty neat. And then you have, of course, Corey Feldman. His character goes he goes crazy. Literally shaves, not completely, shaves his whole head, and then goes up to Jason and goes, kill. Jason as he's stabbing Jason, and instead of saying, Johnny, Morty, or whatever his name is, die, Morty. I mean, it was pretty funny how they edited the ending of this movie, but Friday the 13th Part 4 was hyped as the last movie, and it was supposed to have been the last movie of this franchise. And maybe it would have been a good thing if it ended at 4 movies, because it went way. I mean, Friday the 13th movies went way too long in terms of all the horror films, but it was, it was a good entry. It's more memorable than the third film, because of, Corey Feldman was in it. I didn't realize Corey Feldman was even in this movie until I looked it up and saw Cinemassacre's review of the whole Friday the 13th series. But to watch this movie, this was literally the first time I ever saw the fourth movie, whole, and I thought it wasn't bad. But of course, the later on movies like Part 6, 7, 8, it's going to get sillier as the series is going on. But like I said, it's not much to really, after the first 2 or 3 films, it's not really much to say about these films, other than, hey, cross this one off my list and cross this one off as a review. But the fourth movie, like I said, I like Corey Feldman in the film, and that's about it. Even though he became one of Michael Jackson's good friends later on in life, but neither here nor there. But Friday the 13th Part 4 is, I wish it had been the final chapter. That way we had to put up with 11 films in this series, which is the longest running film series of the slasher movie genre. So there's my review of. It's good to do short reviews on these movies because there's not much really to talk about. It's wrapping up my review of Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel, RowdyC.com. That's all WDY. C.com. That's our homepage and value reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. And please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.